Hello, everyone. Here is Andy. Welcome to the bonfire. And today we are again playing Disco Elysium, the final cut. And I think this is investigation stage 11. And let me just close all the notifications. And I also want to say that today it's really nice to have a stream because I wasn't expecting that to happen, as I had my dentist's appointment, but it turned out that we were able to do what was to be done without any anesthesia, and so I'm not void of my opportunity to speak properly, and I can articulate, at least I hope I can. And yeah, and I was really missing Harry and Kim, and I'm getting really attached to those guys and also their case. And as you probably remember, we left at a very specific moment. We just found a cadaver on a pier, and we have to proceed with the game. So let's go to this last quick save, and yeah, enjoy, and let's begin. We also had a lot of new locations and new people who we met, and so plenty of detective work to do today. I'm all concentrated. Right, so what's the matter?
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the left leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no, this sounds terribly familiar.
Search his pockets.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Okay, let's study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole.
So it was like that. What a death.
You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark.
Let's examine his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze.
By the way, is it this husband, the missing husband that working class woman was looking for? Oh, we're going to bring her really terrible news.
Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all.
Let's study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist.
Let's examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
It's hard to say.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Let's step on the floorboards.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
Let's examine the bottle.
A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
He looks at two other bottles near the coin-operated viewer. Two other bottles. I don't see them, but okay. Or maybe I just collected them last time. Then into a yellow plastic bag.
I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Well, I agree.
True. It feels disrespectful.
Let's examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Rubowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Let's look in.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there.
Wow.
Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
He shudders from the cold. Let's step back.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself.
Yeah.
You know who this is.
We know who this is. It's the working class woman's missing husband, dead on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
He looks at the bundle of flesh and rags lying on the ground.
Because it's the most working-class death you've ever seen.
The library card. He was supposed to return a book.
I can't see a book. So he took the book to the library, then came back and thought, I'll have one.
He pats his pockets.
I'll have one drink before I get home. Just one drink. I have my cool jacket on. I took the book to the library. I've earned it. The view from the lookout is beautiful.
Damn it. He's definitely someone's husband.
He points at the golden ring on the man's left hand. The flesh around it swollen and pale. What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Could it be related to the lynching, Ruby?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
Do you think he was drunk?
Oh yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the Pox.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. Boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
He smiles sourly. Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What shall we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
What about the field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma and leave it at that. Let's keep this detour as short as possible. The sooner we get back to finding Ruby, the better.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of sloppy?
Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest.
I think we found him, so we should finish this and take the case.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case.
Alright, understood. Understood. Now it's the boardwalk, and we were talking about the shot taken from here. Moonshine probably smells like tasty fermentation. It's a pity that there aren't many people on the stream right now. The stream is interesting, though there is a feeling that something is missing. Hey man, it's okay. I mean, I'm enjoying what's happening even without many people, so that's okay. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you here. Well, what should be next? Should we go with interactive objects, or shall we just... So, folded library card and filthy jacket we have. And about quests, we have body on the boardwalk, take stuffed bird to guard. Yeah, that's simple. What about this freaking boardwalk perspective we have to assess? Why isn't it triggered now? About the shot. Strange. Very strange. Or was it triggered before that? I don't remember. I mean, there was some trigger, but yeah, I think it was exactly about boardwalk, and we kind of clarified that it wasn't taken from here, the shot that killed Lely. So that means that we have to inspect 2 more places, and these 2 more places are Land's End, whatever this place is, and Island. And I wonder where they are. Land's End. This one maybe? Island also could be the island. So who knows? Right. Where haven't we been yet? I want to talk to these 2 guys here because maybe they know how to get inside. Hey. Hey friends. Oh. What's that? I didn't see that. Nosafat. Finally some health restoring things. And money. Ooh, that's a lot. I wonder why we didn't see that last time we were here. I remember we came here and the message that popped was like, you can't pass, and maybe it's because I didn't have my pry bar in my hand, so that could be one option. Or, well, perception was... Wait a second. Did we put anything on concerning perception? Maybe shoes. Yes, that was shoes. Increasing our perception by 1, making it 8, not 7. And when it is 8, apparently these 2 things are becoming visible. And that answers the question, should we put on these lenses or this hat, Pipo? No, because perception will be decreased and it's an absolute skill to have, so not really, not the best decision. Interfacing, we should remember about interfacing. I have to systemize my inventory again. I mean, go through it and check what we have. So, yeah. Right. Back to these conversations. Hello. Feld versus Transcendennial. Wish we could have witnessed something I failed to read.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
How does he know that he is... okay, we have this question. Hold on, hypertext.
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He says if it's self-evident. Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Monitor glare. What are they talking about? You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
And why?
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
He pats his son's head.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There's something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face, all for a few turns to admire the mural before it.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Okay.
Hold on. What's R&D?
R&D and research and development, but still I'm going to ask for the sake of the conversation, and let's look at the building looming over you.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
And the department? R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
Well, we do, in our world. He smiles brightly, love lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Oh, really?
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Felt Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
He gestures toward the building, then grins. So, Transcendennial, I think, remember, in front of this Worn in Rags hotel, there is a business center we can't get in, as you remember, as nobody opens the door for us. And there is a Transcendennial button. So, that place. What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Tape computer.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and Faraday ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. And what happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He smiles again as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events. Maybe those were the characters, the people who got executed in that flashback that we observed next to another building.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
He means they all died at the hands of the communists. Turned to Mikhail. I'm not going to shock the child with such cruelties. I mean, young brains have to grow some resilience to process such information before they can do it. So, tape computers, right?
Tape computers.
He nods, wind tousling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
He says while his son looks up, idly chewing on the corner of his worm-themed coloring book. What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vedefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
Yes.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Yeah.
What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Yost?
Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, Paul Ackerman, Keith and Guy Just. What are you talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
So... Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat. Now I understand why last 5 minutes I was having a huge sensation. I was playing Arcanum again. Because his pronunciation reminds me of Magnus from Arcanum. The first conversation with Magnus that happens in Tarant. And then there are a lot of names and a lot of suits around, and this man is wearing a suit, and some melancholic music is playing as it's happening here. And, well, Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. Well, that's a good name for a gallery, absolutely. If it is a contemporary art gallery, then I have no hesitations, it's true.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers.
Yeah, please.
As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Okay.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the felt playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the felt playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. Did we get a new a new thought? Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. -1 suggestion outsider that will give us. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old when the twins, Guy and Kate Just, are the stars of the show with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wumpty Dumpty the dummiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have Respondez, s'il vous plaît, I think it is. So they have RSPV'd. Where are you if you are not there? We have a bot message again. So, what shall I forget to find the place for this Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? I guess that could be... No... 10 cents for every green orb clicked. Learning cap for Savafair raised to 6. Ooh, do we want to lose this stable income? Because it's kind of, well, it's money by clicking. Maybe I shouldn't be too hasty with that. Hobocop. But Hobocop gives me a chance to sleep in the street, saving 20 real. Now that I found that boat, more money from Sedentaire. So it's extra special collector's edition Terra bottles. No, it's not nice to forget that. Suicide of Krasmazov, absolutely not. Kingdom of Conscience. Learning cap, volition, and logic. And what are our learning caps? We can invest more points. There isn't anything that limits us. So I think Kingdom of Conscience we shall forget, because not that I'm very fond of this thought. Yes. Get it. Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center internalized. Congrats. Losing another skill point to thoughts. Right. I wanted to ask something else.
But of course. What else?
I want to hear about the fell building again.
Sure.
We
What's on
have
your- but of
exhausted this
course.
topic.
What else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money? No. No begging, man. No begging. Thank you for all the interesting
No,
information.
thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain.
Mm,
A very interesting conversation indeed.
indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
I just hope I didn't waste much time on that. Can I somehow get inside this building still? Can I?
You see, a once bright mural, a slogan used to intertwine.
Yeah, that's all very cool, but how can I get inside? Can I use my chain cutters to cut the fence? Maybe? No? It doesn't seem possible. Alright, any other possible entrances? Because there must be a way to get inside, right? Because there is, look, there is this staircase, and if there is a staircase, then it must be possible. But how? How, and could it be that we just aren't supposed to get there yet? Maybe it's a quest location which you can't enter on your own whim and you just have to wait. Maybe we have some items that will help us get inside. Maybe, I don't know. I don't imagine there is something we have missed with Perception 8, right? It's quite hard to think of that possibility, so I imagine it's not like that. Right. So what's next? Next is the Ferris wheel, I think. At least I want to clarify for myself this Ferris wheel is it's non-existent. They wanted to make it, they wanted to build it, but that never came true. Yes, a thought.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit.
Okay.
The structure goes deep under the earth.
Let's yell ho into the slit.
There's no echo and no answer.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Kim, any idea what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
Takes his glasses off to polish. Think we might find Ruby down there.
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachol's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building.
He puts his glasses back on, but not in there?
I hope not.
So, that's very interesting. There is an underground right beneath us, and that means that we can get into that building that I was wanting to get into through to the underground system, which is a very promising lead. Okay, that sounds cool. What's that? What would that be? Another new location. Another place we haven't visited. Where does it lead us? To some distant locations, distant worlds. Okay, so that first tiny inlets there, off in the far distance where the posts trail toward. Okay, a box. Scented scarf, +1 shivers, -2 physical instrument. How would I use this scarf? But where can I put it on? On my neck? No. My drama bow is absolutely gorgeous. Next, tower. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Okay, nothing else to click. Alright. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay. Barely. Okay. The next click is a rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. Got it. This one. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot?
That's interesting.
Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, officer. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
He looks east of the coast. Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year.
He looks around.
Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it?
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there.
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
Lieutenant looks up, raising his collar. Look over the water to the whirling rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender, smoking, drinking, being happy and elated, without you. Because you're here, freezing in the wind, aren't you? Doing your detective work.
Yes, I am, and that's my job. I will be doing it. Finish the thought. So we've ruled out one option, I guess. Check land's end for bullet traces. Check boardwalk for bullet traces. So I haven't finished that point. And the third is island. Where the hell is this island? What's that? Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. Brand Timutiri. I hope I didn't slaughter it too much. Next is what? What do we have here? I imagine nothing. No. What's that? The boardwalk rises to your south. It casts its long shadow over you. Well, that's wonderful, but can't I get something more? Was this glitching? This bird. So I'm beginning to walk literally in all places because I just am so afraid of missing some important trivia, some details about our investigation. Because as you could see last stream and this stream, as they run, yeah, like that. They run and then something pops out, but it doesn't happen on the first time we are crossing this way, and that's strange. You would take a mental note. Tio Mutiri seems important somehow. Whoa. Okay. Cool, but why didn't it appear the first run there? It was after the cigarettes were inspected. Well, I can't run everywhere several times. Well, like, I mean, I can, but it just takes a lot of time, and the game just inflates my completionist style of playing games. What's that? White polo short, +1 rhetoric, -1 empathy. I can... No, I think conceptualization is more useful, as we know, because it gives us experience every time it procs. What's that? What's that? Why was this circle appearing? Meaning that we lost something here? There was an opportunity? Something to consider? No? Well, Harry, what was that circle above your head? Were you thinking something? Do you want to say something? Huh? No? No? Okay, let it be. What's that? Kim, you are standing right in front of my mouse. This barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil. Okay. Something hidden here. That would be money. Cool. Perception helped us out. This one, these rusty gears used to turn the whole machine, and the machine is... The chain trails off into the ocean. Who knows where? What's this place? Some kind of a bunker. Let's enter. Looks...
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What's this thing anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
Probably something that is no longer there.
Tenant looks at the hunching concrete toad in front of him. Could this structure have been used to take the shot?
From here to the whirling? I can't see how. The church is in the way.
He looks southeast and blows on his fingers. Let's walk away. And time for our interfacing challenge. Meaning that we need our gauntlets. That gives us +2 interfacing. And I think there was something else. But I might be wrong. Interfacing, reaction speed, composure. No. Alright, so we'll have to abuse, I imagine. What's that?
As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch.
That's about the gauntlets.
The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away, as the plates reorient to your motions.
I can say I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off. Decked out in future armor like a cop ought to be. No, I'll be responsible with this.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
One down, 2 pieces to go. Here I come. This gear could line my pockets with cash. I could probably sell it to some other cops. Or this is the long sought after enemy technology. Can't just enjoy it, I must study it. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
Half-Light. So I have another thought, but I have no points to forget any of these, and I'll have to do something about it. Right, interfacing.
An old door, worn by elements.
What?
The wind has blown a sand dune in front.
But I've just put on the gauntlets. +2 interfacing. The game, didn't you see that? Maybe something decreases my interfacing. I don't think so, though. Perception, glasses. No, nothing influences. So it's not enough.
An old door, worn
2%.
by elements. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door. with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
The door's shut tight. How can we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everywhere?
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
No. We've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open doors. We're cops. That's our perk. Even Everard knew that's a part of our MO.
I'm not gonna accept this. The door could be part of the investigation.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
He looks at the door with a rueful smile.
At least you can think about opening it, about doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful would come from this. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind.
So I gained the thought. One more door. One more door. Well, on the one hand, I'm really tempted to load and try with 3% chance. On the other hand, it seems that if you process that thought and then come to some conclusions, the door will unlock itself or some bonus will appear, and I'm going to get some bonus to my interface, and I think I have to invest 1 skill point here just to open this freaking door here. It's something important. I totally agree with Harry, and there was another circle above his head. Why was it there? Why was it there? What was the trigger? Have no idea. Okay, nothing is going to come of it. Anyway, let's be running back. Anything here? No. So I guess our path has brought us to this church. And what will we do here? Church has something around. For example, this green orb. A school of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter in the dark. Okay, something on the ground. A thought. Before you, drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. From the other side. And this is full of holes. Could be the post hide treasure. Look inside. Whoa. Each post has something. Really? Money. Alcohol potent pilsner. Substance use effect. +1 physic, -1 morale. Okay, this one has money. This one has money. Is it some kind of a ritual place? This one has money. This one has magnesium again. And this one has money. A comment to push this video to the top. Thanks, Serioja. Nice to see you, man. And welcome to the stream. Did I have a thought again? No, I didn't. I didn't. So this freaking island is endless. There are so many locations to explore, but I mean it's good, and it's still 10:30 in the morning for our characters, and there is a person doing something strange here, and we got to the other side, so we can possibly use this drawbridge. What's that? Painted with pastel. Someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Oh, that's a worthy effort. And then, oh my god. It must have been taken out of patience to do this. Yeah, probably. Look at this wonderful monument. This one is yellow moss on those stones. They're probably stolen from someone's garden. I am really curious to talk to this person here. And a ship. Is it Joyce's yacht? Probably it is hers. Now some more tribalistic markings. This post discovered a little humanoids. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. And trash from some unending party. Can I collect some bottles here? Can I? Again, a lot of trash, but not a single bottle for our Hobacop. Why do I have my bag? Tell me, why do I have my bag if I can't collect bottles? What's the use of my bag? Right. The bridge.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What's this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Lieutenant adjusts his collar against the cool breeze. Let's push the tonight over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Whoa, what cinematics. The pain... Yeah, that was
We
right.
should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
Lieutenant gestures toward the young woman next to the tent. So, yeah, let's... What's that? I thought. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours. Well, I'm homeless, so... I don't have a home. Fortunately. Hey, lady.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh. Hello there.
Hello.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. What's your hat?
Huh?
Where is your hat? Sorry. That's what people usually ask me. Where is my hat? And that's been... What? The 3rd winter straight that I've been asked. And I always say I forgot it at home many years ago because I don't like hats. I prefer hoods. And interestingly, I haven't become ill in the winter for, more than 3 years already. And I have to also say here that I live in Siberia and our winter is like minus 35, minus 40, minus 20. Changes, varies from day to day, but it's very cold, so I always have headphones or earphones to protect my ears, but my head is protected with a hood and that works perfectly well. So, I mean, if she doesn't accept hats as a concept, I'm totally with her.
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
Said you should have a hat on?
So should you.
I don't have to do anything. I'm the law. You have to do what the law says. Or I should and I do. Point at you. Look at my hat. Yeah.
Oh. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's not a hat. It's a sombrero. What is it? I forgot. Now that... I'm not going to instruct her what she should be doing about clothes. I would say, now that's all cleared up, I have some questions for you.
Sorry, man. My mind was elsewhere. Shoot.
She puts the device down. Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
What's her name?
A cell.
Asel.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
One of my favorite hairstyles, hair look. It's when it's dyed blonde and then the dark roots are showing a lot, actually. That looks beautiful. Is her name?
Why?
I'm from the police. It's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
Asel Burger. Okay.
A very common name.
I don't trust you immediately. What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
Is she also hunting for Coldomamadaqua, this insectoid, this cryptid? She breathes on her freezing fingers. And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Oh.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah. And using my wife's name? How about my mother?
No, You're welcome.
Alright, okay. I think it was me mocking encyclopedia skill for not giving me proper information and only some trivial facts about the world in this game. Does this have anything to do with contact mic?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
I mean the Boxer contact mic.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
Okay, another round of this surrealism. You know, contact mic doesn't just beat people up. Contact mic is a role model, unfortunately.
An entire litany spews forth.
Okay, I can say, yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and an inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles. I think Kim will shoot us after that. On second thought, screw Contact Mike. He is not a champion. You are. Look at you here in front of a saggy tent, picking your nose to drug addict music. The world of sports is in awe of your faith and dedication. And sorry I didn't know why I said that. There was something else I wanted to know. I would like to say the second option if it didn't have this picking your nose line, so I'm going with the first.
Man, you are one weird cop.
Oh, I am. I am absolutely weird. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats. And for yourself, I'd say I'm just not about normal, now about that Mike, not Mike. Mike. That's the thing. I'm stupid. I just got it. Why they were so entangled in this conversation. A contact mic. And there is a boxer contact mic. Yeah. Oh, this Harry's mind actually makes me so puzzled. So now that we've cleared everything up, which option should I go with? I'm just about normal.
You do understand it all just sounds like Mike to me, right?
How does the thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where did you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
And the Palaceum is?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole.
She forgets herself for a moment.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
I again double-clicked, sorry. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street and Jamrock. So we won't be there. Musicians live there like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Arno van Eyck. Is it a reference to Armin van Buuren and Paul van Dyk? I wonder. So, sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
She looks you over, assessing your age. I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
I mean, it means I'm hip beyond my years, or no do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room. Neither do I actually. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Get down, grind. I think he was using some, like, cool stuff, cool words from his age, from his young age, which didn't work with this young lady, so I'm going to go with the second option. Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock, in the form of wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
It is. She breathes on her fingers, looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
She squints her eyes for a second trying to remember something, then lets go of it. I got damage to my morale. Good that not to our physique, because that would almost have killed us. Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
First of all, I want to point out that I was nodding before I saw that the game said, the game suggested that. Like, I was nodding and the game suggested nodding as well. And so we again have this harmony with Disco Elysium. The second thing I wanted to say is that I think she's talking about ambient genre, and that's one of my favorites. I mean, not that I listen to ambient, but it's quite close to electronic music that I listen to, some Witch House, and I don't know how to coin that, but really experimental stuff that I think people would kick me out of their flat if I showed them these tracks. So I'm totally for what she's talking about. I think it's amazing, and that makes perfect sense that she's recording like natural sounds out in the wild. That's just incredible. She's such a great, maybe not a musician yet, but a person who understands. Let's say it this way. She understands.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too.
Ooh.
It's supposed to be like a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around. So she's a future composer. Wonderful.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Sounds like Sennheiser, one of my favorite brand.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
We have to present her headphones.
Take this, you're cold.
Lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
He backs up. He throws you a glance. Well, let's give her your hat.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. Hey, that was my hat. I mean, I gave it myself, but no, Samaran conical hat was cooler than other hats I have. I should have. Ah, no. 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 I'm going to load the game before we begin conversation with her. Because the Samaran hat is... it gives us what? Drama or conceptualization? I don't remember. Or something important. Something very important it gives us. And I don't want to lose that. And it's also very cool. And I mean, how on earth that hat could help anyone feel better? Wait a second. What is... I didn't save the game before I... Okay, let's just click through quickly because we know what's there. Yeah, this one. This sound home away from home. And this thing here. Yes,
barely,
what's
the
this?
pain falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Yeah, cool.
We should add.
Let's go to this late. No, first of all, the last paint with pastels. Now, changing our hat to this orange bomb hat, which I wouldn't be using, or even found piper, logic and perception. You know what, I'm going to keep my bum hat because I'm kind of spiritually attached to homeless outfit, but this found piper, or whatever it is, I think I can give it away absolutely. And our Samaran conical hat gives us logic, so logic is something to have and I'm not going to part with it. Back to this conversation. Yes, hello.
Everyone knows.
Huh?
Freezing.
So should you.
I think I have to just decrease the sounds for some time for you guys, just not to deafen you. Yeah. You get sick if you don't. Have you seen red? No, just no. What's your name? And your surname? Paperwork, burger, device, wires, microphone. Nope. Mic, boxer, role model. This one. About. Okay, here we go. That's where we stopped last time, and I'm bringing back this the sound. So
No, man, fuck.
It's okay.
let's give her your hat.
Thanks.
We lost this piper, and to hell with it. You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
She nods toward the church. The boys.
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
In the tent, there are some people.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
She squints her eyes a little. Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Had some other questions.
Go ahead.
The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up. Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up in the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Secret task completed? Secret task? Excuse me? You should find out what is this anodic dance music people are listening to these days. Maybe if you were to stumble upon some young adults later on. This is long-term side thing, don't read it. Secret task. Now we are solving secret tasks. Wow. Okay. Electronic instrument. Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
Sounds really cool. Really, really cool.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like. if it ever comes.
Ambient music is gorgeous. It's I mean, what's that band called? Just give me a second. I actually can tell you right now. I just need to check with my folder on my computer. This is the type of music that I sometimes listen to. And yeah, they're called Apparat band. I think you might have heard their works. One of my favorite tracks is PV, and then there is Goodbye, and they have these exactly electric type of melodies, and they really sound very, very impressive and very catchy, and also very well sentimental and touching, and they really get to your heart and brain. Discard heart. They get to your brain, and you just float in this melody. And if she is talking about this kind of music, it's just such a beautiful future for us. Yes.
This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments,
Yeah.
which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness or something finer?
Nordic music. Now I'm gonna find out what it is. What is it? So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it.
She nods towards a sloping mass of wood on the coast, then shivers. So I imagine the church is empty?
Hey, you two are cops.
No, we're the police.
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
She hesitates. Wait a second. Andre and the boys found the place. They want to have a club there. Then why should I talk to Andre and the boys? Like I have to talk to them and they will tell me to check the church. Okay, I'll talk to them for the sake of music and your just amazing music taste.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
She points to the tent. Enough about the church. Then I had another question.
Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Fast and clean, a good one. Can't quite say it's a lie, but it feels like one. She's better at lying than she'd like everyone to know.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
I can look awestruck. Who are these rich people? They sound wonderful. I'd like to be one too. Or sneer. Bet they're really rich. They must be very special people to be so rich. Lean in and whisper. Let me guess. These rich people are not from around here. Or strange. The existence of rich people doesn't stir any emotions in me. And okay, good to know. I don't want to go with the first three. I'll go with strange.
Bet they like it that way.
Quiet under her breath, she mutters.
You keep them rich.
So she is a revolutionary. So what trouble you've gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Okay.
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Aha, we got a skill point. Now we can process a new thought. And by the way, Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center has been completed. Now we have Guillaume Lamillion to be completed very soon in 42 minutes and Pharmacological Underground 5 hours 24 minutes. while Fairweather T500 and one more door. This one will be fast, but we have to decide what shall be forgotten. What shall be forgotten? What shall be forgotten? What's this -1 difficulty to all physique passives? Rhetoric, Gemrock Shuffle, Coldemama Dakwa, Actual Art Degree, Aces High, Advanced Race Theory, Guillaume Lamillion, Hobocop. I have nothing to forget. They're all really precious to me. All of them. Very precious. Maybe Jamrock Shuffle. But loot is also very important. Maybe Coldemama Dakwa, but 3 perception lost. Nah, no, I want to keep it. 15th in the tribe. Well, I think we could say goodbye to 10 cents per green orb because we have enough money, I believe, or I really hope we will have enough money. So, although it pains me to do that, I'm going to forget this and pick one more door and internalize because we can't lose opportunities. Okay, what is in forward?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
Okay, I know Jamrock, but let's say I didn't.
We are Jamrock, sort of. Martinez is called North Jamrock sometimes. Jamrock is also a ghetto, only smaller than Faubourg.
Okay, so a shitholest shithole.
Jamrock is a district of Revachol comprised of the following quarters: Pox, Villa Lobos, Central Jamrock, Grand Couron, Old South, and the Valley of the Dogs. Learning is great.
Thank you, Encyclopedia. Who would call a place a pox? What's that? And Valley of the Dogs, a place where I absolutely would not live. And will not. Let's turn to the girl. Why did you have to move out when you were so young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
Okay, options we have. You know what? I think you really learned something from all those times and you've been questioned. Some of your lies have been pretty good. Or, I get that, I'm a major party animal myself. Major. Drinking, partying, and disco music are bad for you. You should take me as a warning example. Let's tell her that she's lying quite in a talented manner.
Thank you?
The girl is truly proud of herself.
Proud to be lying. Yes, I can't even remember how many you've told or which ones I picked up on. Now, another question. Lying to the police is nothing to be proud of. Now, another question if you can manage to tell the truth. No, I think I am going to compliment her further.
Go ahead.
I
Well,
don't
it's just
think I've
Fast
finished.
and clean. A good one. Can't quite.
once or twice, yeah. The usual.
The
You know-
usual
Interesting
Faubourg,
turn.
Is this a
Faubourg.
rhetorical question?
I can't remember.
Faubourg, we are Jamrock.
There was
Jamrock
something
is a
interesting.
district of Revachol.
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
Yeah, take me as a warning example.
She nods very cautiously.
Okay, that wasn't really detailed. That's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. It's because I want to check this new thought first.
Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center.
Woohoo!
You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Encyclopedia passives give 10 experience and plus 2 real. Minus 2 suggestion, pretentious wanker. I am absolutely comfortable with losing suggestion. Now it's 1, which is awful. It means that you'll have difficulty getting any kind of rapport with others. You'll be alone both during the day and night. To hell with it, it's my life anyway. So, but Encyclopedia triggers itself very often. And I just probably need to increase it somehow else. But first, there was this empathy check with the girl, and I had something for empathy. I think that was Pinball Maker's code, and something else gave us empathy. No? Oh yeah, Mega Binos prescription lenses. We have to wear them now because they give us encyclopedia. Lower our perception, but as we will get in experience, I think we can deal with that. So let's actually, okay, let's have a 10 minutes what's that, revision of what items we have in stock and organize them properly. Maybe I should make it quite crazy and can I actually do it like that? No, I cannot. I cannot do it like that. So, but I have to organize it somehow. So let it be it has to be naked now. Shorts and jacket and bow tie and gloves, glasses. Well, let's make it a bit easier. These things I'm definitely keeping. Shoes, I am keeping them as well. What else? What else? Kingdom of Conscience. No, I don't need that. Scented scarf. Cimarron conical hat. Yes, I'm wearing it. Now, Ceramirizian lounge jacket. I'm wearing it because conceptualization has to be kept. Now, the next is empathy bonus. Hey, what's that? Because yeah, sure, of course, correct. Rhetoric -1 empathy, white polo short. Yeah, that's what we have to not wear for some seconds. Keeping the trend. So trousers will be the first line. The second line shall be different coats, jackets, such things. Yeah, my perfectionist, crazy, and super orderly trait again kicks in. I have to organize everything just to feel comfortable. And maybe you can call it obsessive compulsive disorder, but I just don't want to miss anything in this game because it's important. So that has to be here, that has to be here. Then next thing is gloves, and glasses will be the last ones. Yeah, like that. Now it feels like some puzzle game. Hats will be maybe here together with ties because I don't have many of them, and it seems that I won't have enough space for all the shit I have in my inventory. That's very inconvenient. Next, gloves here. Only 2? No, of course not only 2. Like that. And another cloak. Whoa. Cloak goes here. Like this, like this. And does it look good to me? Kinda good. Now... yeah, that looks better. A bit. Not much, but a bit. So, empathy we have increased. And... exhibitionist, you know, like he's wearing nothing under his coat. He is just like naked there, you see? Oh, that's gross. Man, you need some I don't know, some pens first of all. Which ones, by the way? Electrochemistry, then composure, savoir-faire and physical instrument. Well, my trousers are absolute garbage. Let's take composure and conceptualization. No. Yes. No. Yes. Because, yes, that's correct. Sorry for that. And then we have to have some gloves. Interface and electrochemistry. No, electrochemistry is kind of nice because people tend to be drug addicts and I just have to notice that. Now, saving the game and proceeding to have this check. 72%.
The device is
Success.
still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. At your age, or any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in the failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
The dark, or nothing if you got this, don't be scared. Or I'm once again reminded of how Contact Mike rose from the slumps of Saint Baptiste to the top of the boxing world, overcoming adversity and serious brain trauma. Nothing is coming, nothing he wouldn't knock out in 3 rounds. The real fight is for the right attitude.
I can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine. Okay, I'll stick to it. I'll knock it out in 3 rounds.
She takes the device from you and places it in her lap.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
After a moment of silence, she speaks again. Actually, that's it for now. Did I give her my boombox? No, it's with me. So, what then just happened? Maybe I had some item that I just gave away? I guess not. So...
Hello again.
You said eating me? There is nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
She shakes her head slowly. I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
I think it's the plight of the working class. This agenda, this political agenda is killing me in this game. Everyone is just mooching off the entrepreneurial class, shackling the doors. I think it's all these foreign people taking our jobs. No, people just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. That I like. Moralist.
Really?
Yes, really. No one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. I totally agree. It's all very distressing. Yes, it is.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress.
Okay, we have options again. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for slow and steady progress. I just wish people would be a little more reasonable is all. No, that's probably not it, is it? Yeah, pretty sure now I had some questions about something else entirely. No. Yes, don't get me wrong. I'm all for slow and steady progress. I just wish people would be a little more reasonable, is all.
Okay. So you're not that upset, it sounds like.
I told you I'm highly distressed by this state of affairs.
Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick?
Perhaps.
Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First, they had just the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit.
Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic. Don't you think?
She raises her eyebrow. Yes, I found that to be very symbolic too.
Okay. What else?
They're written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
Don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
She appears to believe you. I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
She rubs her sides for warmth. I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise? Or, come to think about it, the W could have written them to her lover, who was me, I guess.
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
What do you mean by selective memory?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
Königstein wank? What's this?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing then? You know, I'm not sure this made things any better. No, let's thank her.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
She thinks for a second, stretching her jaw. Whoa, that was a really weird conversation with her because too much information to process and a lot of references, and they jump on you just out of nowhere, and that's just super strange. Now, I have to bring back my Saramiresian lawn jacket because conceptualization. Now we have two skills, namely conceptualization and encyclopedia, who give us passively some experience. 10 experience per trigger, and that's quite awesome. Now, can I improve it somehow else? Well, the game now comes to the point where I'll have to just juggle between my clothes, seeking the best configuration for each conversation. Oh, these glasses also had empathy boost, but it's okay. I don't have that. I don't need to have that anymore. Anything else that can improve my life? Gloves. These are gloves. Why are they here? So they should be like this. Half-light. Maybe I have to have half-light? No, I'm good. So how much time till the next thought to be finished? Guillaume Lamillion, 29 minutes. One Mador, 32 minutes. Homosexual Underground, 5 hours. Fine. So she pointed us at this tent here, but I have a hunch that the tent won't disappear at night, and I can totally come back to that later when the working day finishes and we can't talk to anyone else. So I want to go and talk to those scientists, but before that, what's that? Why would Harry want to... Okay... And what would that be? Looking back at you from the rust-colored water, you. Me.
Wait. Take a longer look at yourself and how you're reflected in that slick chemical rainbow.
Oh,
What do you see?
slick chemical rainbow is always so beautiful.
Metaphor. It's always metaphor.
Some kind of metaphor for me.
This is more important than you. That's the blood of industry you see before you. The runoff from Coal City, further down the coast. The engines of fortune once roared here. Great wealth poured into Revachol, the Delta, as did smoke, waste, sickness, life.
What happened?
The engines stopped. The West Revacholian industrial base was dismantled after the war. Now, extinguished coke furnaces dot the landscape, a landscape despoiled by industry.
So, blood of industry. The engines of fortune once roared here, great wealth poured into Revachol, the Delta as did smoke, waste, sickness, life. The engine stopped, dismantled of the war, extinguished coke furnaces, dot the landscape despoiled by industry. I don't see the problem. Revachol moved on to service industry, get with the times.
Right. Here's some advice that's good for business and life. Never fight a losing battle. I'm not even going to argue with you.
Hey, that was short. Did I save my game before that? I just didn't get the point here. Can we come back? Because I'm puzzled somehow by this interaction. What was rhetoric trying to convey? Maybe I should have gone with some different options. Or it's just one reply conversation. Okay, let's go back. This one. Harry, run faster, please. Run faster. Faster. Almost there. So.
Wait.
Yes.
Metaphor. This
me,
is the
yes,
engines of
what
the
happened?
engines stopped. The West Revacholian.
What about this?
Perhaps you could dedicate your life to cleaning it up. But you're a cop. You must concern yourself with different messes. Even so, it's pretty to think.
Okay, that's one reply conversation. Got it. Nothing to be bothered about. But it gave us 10 experience because conceptualization was triggered. Now to those cryptozoologists, the scientists who were exploring the coast. Yeah, these guys. So, your wife, Lena, is worried about you, you rascal.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Hello.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morale, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
You don't seem too happy to see the RCM.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about?
He glances at the cylinder. Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice water lock.
10 experience from Encyclopedia and to Real. Cool. Total log's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, I did.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, Tell her I won't be long.
He turns to...
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
No, it's something different that you wanted to say. First of all, it's damn difficult to find, and then, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
He looks around.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Have a hunch that to catch a phasmid we'll have to have either perception at like 15 points or visual calculus at 15 points, maybe both of them, which seems crazy for a game.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid. A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
Okay. Inland Empire. I just thought now that putting a skill point into empathy, I mean making it our key, what was that? Key or core skill was a mistake. I think it's... On the other hand, we're not struggling with low empathy now. We have high, anyway. Ghost insect. So you're ghost hunters.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid.
And you're rejected from the scientific community for that matter. How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption.
Oh, come on.
Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
He holds up an index finger. Okay.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
Lieutenant interjects.
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough, that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
he says, gathering himself. Lena said that there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Oh, this freaking snow. I thought winter finished in my life, but not yet. Maybe the Insulian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He shakes his head vigorously.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
He points at the cage of mesh and wiring underground. Lena designed the traps,
Yes,
he says with some pride. How do the traps work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as a bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
He gestures towards the trap.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
How cruel.
A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
That was thank you for your opinion sounded like go take a hike. What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Okay, let me ask you something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not.
Is
Won't let Lena down.
he yells in response. Is he this man who has this... Okay, that's hard to explain, but there is a meme with this. Absolutely not.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here.
Yeah.
We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the phasmid. She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
I will.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you could go back to the Berlin, warm up, come back and to check the traps later?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
Well, tell the scientific community that you caught a Phasmid, but it unfortunately starved to death, so you had to dispose of him like any your freaking cryptozoologist has been doing, like creating fables.
He's dead set on this.
What if we checked the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar, or chaos is my method, I'm its scion. We're looking for someone hiding on this very coast, looking for another thing may lead us to her. Yeah.
Why not? At least it will give us the excuse to look into a lot of reeds.
The lieutenant shrugs.
That it will. That it absolutely will. I hope you brought your good boots.
The man cracks an unwildly smile. Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near.
Okay. To the south. The boat houses. Okay.
Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
Understood.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
What do I do if there is a Phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the Phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
He takes out a small white spray can.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me. Thick. He doses you with the old-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
Lieutenant wrinkles his nose, dispenses it without letting you touch the canisters. Preciously.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
He scoffs at the concept. Cryptozoology does seem like a lot of wishful thinking.
My methods are the same as those of other scientists. I'll simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
That's exactly what I thought. What I said.
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
We both spoiled our lines because I had to say, and has anything truly surprising ever happened to you? And he had to say, I have yet to catch a cryptid, if that's what you're getting at. To have come close. What kinds of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the Phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I don't know what to say, and that's a small number of discoveries.
Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is? 0.00003% of bioreactive agents have reproducibly beneficial effects. Yet science persists in the search for medicine, as we persist in our search for new species.
He read that number correctly.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Thanks for explaining that. Now about something else.
Yes?
Let's talk about specific cryptids.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help.
That's a lot of information. Maybe enough tales then. Let's change the subject.
By all means.
And get going. Because Lena last time took a tremendous lot of our time, and so he is going to do.
Guillaume Lamillion. Bad news. Guillaume Lamillion did not become a cop. In 1938, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
Good text. I'm going to take a screenshot. +1 pain threshold, blood oxygen is boring, and all psyche learning caps raised by 1.
One more door.
One more thought.
There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. but this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
All psyche-wide checks unlocked. Do I have skill points? I do. Why? Where is my cursor? So, fair weather T500. I want to immediately forget one more door, but so many things happening behind the scenes. Yeah. So, a lot of stuff to do, and my head is actually exploding with tasks. It's just... I'm thinking how many things we have ignored so far, and it's already afternoon in the game, and we aren't even close to anything. We haven't read descriptions and to items we found. We haven't interacted with objects we found, and we haven't done anything. And it's still... So, I want to say that we have to do a lot. A lot. So, this door.
An old door worn by elements.
Hey! It's locked now.
An old door worn by elements guards the door.
It's military, probably something.
3% was possible to open it. And now it's locked. Well, the chance was 20, right? I mean, the skill requirement was 20, and still 3% chance is 3%. We could have been abusing it until the cows come home and get it eventually, and look what will happen, because it's quite exciting to know some secrets. But now it's impossible, and I'm really disappointed. So let's forget this one more door rubbish, because I... -1 half-light. What the hell is that? Like, 0 skill. What is this thought? Forget, of course. And internalize this one. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't leave even scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. Just have to figure out what it is. Possibly by beating yourself while wearing it? Shooting yourself? Let's see. It's like this joke, which I'm not going to tell because I don't know if it is good to tell this joke on a stream.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Look around.
The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. Snow specks the stalks. Most of it melts quickly. The reeds seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
Shivers. Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
Lieutenant grins mirthlessly. Damn, I was hoping it would be in the first one, or no need to grin, I'm not expecting to find anything. I'm helping some citizens getting some fresh air. In the next one, surely? No, I was hoping it would be in the first one.
No, you weren't.
I was! You can't tell. He looks at the seat and you, laying the trap back down on the ground. Let's leave.
Nothing has changed about this trap. You need to check the others.
Okay, understood. Well, let's have a quick inspection of things here, just in case we miss something important. Doesn't look so. What has to be the next step? I wonder. The box we have inspected, and this door will be giving me nightmares that I haven't opened it, and Well, at least snow has finished. That's good news. Do I want to peek inside this church? I do, but have a hunch that it could be done later. Maybe at night when everyone's home and I don't have to do it right away. What I think should be done is inspection of that boat. And by the way, have I been inside? Yes, I have, because there was a sand castle that I attended to remember, where I found the gauntlets. Now somewhere here is the boat, this one where I can sleep, and this car here, we wanted to inspect it when there was what's that? I'll tell you.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water.
When the tide goes down.
Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
So this is where all the tracks were leading to.
It appears to be so.
Let's investigate.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
I think you remember this conversation because we had it last time, but we'll just go through it quickly.
Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Okay, run your hand over the cold metal.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
What's the make of this MC? Can I see a logo?
The logo is too deep in murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
How long has it been here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Well. Looks like Jacob Earp's journey came to an abrupt end here.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yet another case of the engine displacement triumphing over the driver's IQ. Or enough gloating that's serious? Yes, crazy recklessness.
Yes. Crazy recklessness. I'd say it has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket. A joyrider jacket.
I don't know. An hour or two tops?
No. The low tide had to come in 1 or 2 hours when we arrived there at 9 o'clock. And now the game tells me that the tide will arrive in 1 or 2 hours again? No, that's cheating. I exactly came later because I didn't want to spend 1 or 2 hours waiting for this freaking low tide. That's bullshit. That's just rubbish and trickery, mockery. I'll come back here at night when the time doesn't matter.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds. Another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place.
Let's look around.
The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. You see slabs of concrete north. In the east, the city center hums to you. The constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And there's that cold again. Always the cold.
Let's reach for the trap.
This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside.
Another empty trap.
The lieutenant takes a note, more out of habit than duty. Let's keep going. The next one is the lucky one. Or how we join the cardio, Lieutenant. I'm quite enjoying myself. Or I want to make it clear that I don't actually believe the phasmid exists, okay? Or say nothing, just put the trap down. I think let's ask a question out of politeness.
Always up for a good jog. Otherwise, would I still be on this case with you?
He smiles and raises his collar. It's windy. Yeah, I have a suspicion we have to use higher parameter with shivers next time we approach such a thing, because shivers seem to make some sense. Have they opened? No, they haven't opened this. Sorry. Okay. There is no point in coming back yet. We have to probably talk to... Well, let's just have a quick recap. Inspect the traps, dead body on the boardwalk. Take staff board to guard. That's all possible to be done later. Determine where the shot came from. Boardwalk for bullet traces. Why boardwalk wasn't triggered as a possible location? I don't understand that, because we have inspected it duly already, in detail. These drunkards, have to talk to them as well. And where is Joyce? I remember Joyce was somewhere moored here. Yeah, here she is standing. Let's talk to Joyce, at least somebody who know. Hey there.
I'll just keep the Cordelechi in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around the post. I think she winds.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Who is talking?
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Jetty jetty.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty.
She responds mournfully.
It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Lies. You arrived yesterday. Why is the game trying to fool me? That's like... I wanted to talk to her yesterday and at night, and she didn't come back, and now she's trying to convince me that she only arrived. Bullshit. Again.
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Have been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cordelechi red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
What is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse? And who is this scamp, anyway?
This scamp is... what was her name? The girl who was making graffiti. That was... done. Quest... Gardener... Investigate... No, I just want to... I know it's stupid that I'm trying to remember the name, but... Cindy, was it Cindy? I think it was Cindy, actually. Yes, Cindy, I think, no?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent.
I think it's Cindy. Okay, so how do you like it there? Here.
How do I like it?
Sorry. She casts her gaze toward the village. Slush melting on the cinder blocks. Construction work left half finished years ago.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
Wonderful.
It's pornographically poor.
Whoa.
The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Perfect. I love it. It's like in this series, The Boys, there was a... Spoiler alert, so close your ears for 10 seconds if you haven't watched it. Don't like spoilers. So there was a scene where they crashed and rammed through a whale, and then William Butcher went out and said fucking diabolical, and then pornographically poor is actually another wonderful expression I'm going to borrow.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
What woman?
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword.
A
The
sword?
wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react. Real men. Real politics.
No,
Real
please.
thoughts in your head.
You're right to be scared. That's all your fault. You're in no danger. Whisper. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Or try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks, and the place is doomed either way. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the great sky.
Do you know how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up, her raincoat flaps in the gust. This fishing village.
No, they're in Celindian, Isla.
What is an Isla, exactly?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No, I don't know how they discovered it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Oblivion, that's so me, or 45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better though. What? That's so me.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
She corrects the scarf around her neck. Tell me something else then.
Of course. I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. How can I help you at this juncture?
I spoke with the lorryman at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
My eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
I think let the lieutenant handle it.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
She says, her tone more cautious suddenly.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
You said contain the situation?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershall West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about the connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
Well, that's not true.
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Investigation upon investigation here in Martinez, racing towards some dark deadline.
Okay, I can say you've made a mess here. I have to say this is not disco. Maybe the investigations can team up, you know, share resources and intelligence. Too many investigations in Martinez. Boy, oh boy, that's not good. You've made a mess here.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenel indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She leans against the wooden planks.
if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debarders have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
Ah, she means that a murder hornet, the one that lives in Asia, can solely dispatch a whole beehive because bees can do almost nothing to this hornet, as it's more powerful, stronger, more deadly, and so they have invented, bees have invented a technique to kill hornets. They just press it with their bodies, making a ball, and then they start increasing, by the amount of the bees, because of the amount of the bees, the temperature inside this living ball is rising, and a hornet is trying to get out, trying to kill all the bees that are jumping, that are flying and pressing him. But because there are hundreds and maybe thousands of them, he eventually dies due to the temperature increase, and that's how they kill him. So that's interesting. But I think she means that a hornet, who is this military mercenary with automatic rifles, can eliminate a lot of people before he himself is eliminated.
The Cerais giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
Yeah, they're very deadly.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
See, Kim, that's the great bloodletting I've been Tolkien. I've been telling you about.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
I can see it happen. Too many things would have to go wrong first.
Too many things have already gone wrong. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia.
She looks to you, eyes damp from the wind.
All we can do is keep that which is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What can you tell me about Crenel?
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
She thinks again.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel.
Could you contact the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
You said the disease assaulted a woman. This colonel, the one who was hanged, did he know him? Where are the remaining 2 mercs now? How much time do we have? Okay, let's proceed with the conversation. Assault.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Why are we asking questions if we know all the story? I mean, why are we pretending that we... Or just the game is... I don't know. Like, we know the story from inside. We know it inside out. Why do we not tell her what's the truth? Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
It's not a story, it's a legend.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place? If you know?
Kim, thanks.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was this woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
So we are consciously pretending that we don't have information. That's what the game hints. And why? Do we not trust Joyce? I kinda trust her more than Mr. Everhart. At the same time, let's be cautious because she doesn't enthusiastically spill information over us, so... Okay, this colonel, the one who was hanged, did he know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice. But she had sympathy for this man.
You liked him.
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
His name was Lely?
Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret to her voice.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body, and Classier also mentioned it, I believe. What else?
Why you
Nationality?
mention
Accent?
Why you mentioning Classy in her presence if you are playing this game that we don't have any information? What the hell?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're likely to be armed to the teeth.
She raises a cautionary finger.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries? Clothes didn't fit right. Scab leader bad acting. Didn't pass background check. Huh. Interesting.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates.
Ah.
The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Yeah. Makes sense.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
One must be the goon in ill-fitting war clothes by the harbour gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
She's posed and unperturbed.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably a building overlooking... One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
She nods toward the sloop's cabin. Got another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Yeah, now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet, observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like stars in the sky.
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What's the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Interesting. The map to fly back home if you die. What travels did the dead man make? I'm going to take a screenshot of that.
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
She points to it on the photo.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What's that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Inter-Isolary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
Maybe it's a record of his military career.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who would tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial.
I need the information, so mark it down, ask Mercs about tattoos.
Do what you have to do, Detective. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
That's all for tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
We also have to be given a reality lowdown on with her, but I think we can do it at night. I don't believe she'll be away again. I hope. So we'll be able to come back to her. Now, how much time left until my thoughts are finished? Quite a lot. 3 hours and 2 hours and a half. And I have 2 skill points to spend. Thanks to conceptualization and encyclopedia, I'm getting experience like mad, and that's just incredible. I need to remember these 2 things for my next playthrough. Yeah, and you know, guys, I think I'm kind of already becoming overwhelmed with all the information the game has thrown at me, and I believe I'll be calling it a stream this time, at this time of the day. Night in my place, well, late evening, let's let it be. So I think next time we start investigation stage 12, and I'll begin with recapping all the things we found, just reading descriptions and trying to connect the dots and deciding on what to do next, because even though we have been running like crazy, We still haven't completed much, and that there is a lot of stuff to do. Like talking to this lady with a sword. Thought you guys forgot this place even exists. The one who's saying that, and Joyce says, to think I even used to dance here. Interesting. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and traditionally, hello to YouTube, and thanks for coming, and wish you a nice time there, and I'll be back with streams quite soon. So, bye-bye, and till next time.